This is Rumble Fastest, Fastest Fist. This side of the Sword Coast, he is a Mapak, I think that's how you say it, Way of the Long Death monk.
This is Gemma. She is a Servant Ranger Gloomstalker.
Sunbeam. You, Liu, or just you for short. She's gonna be a warlock of the Pact of the Archfey.
Here lies Snogbog, champion of the Blood God, raised in the Colosseum where death lies, and there is no room for mercy.
Along the rugged stretch of the Sword Coast, fate pulls together a party of 4. Strangers born of chaos, bound by none but the whims of chance and randomness. Adventurers, each with their own dreams and scars. They set out on a perilous journey towards a quiet place whispered of in taverns and warning cries alike. The village of Dunmire, once a haven of cheerful loggers and tranquil forest life, now lies eerily silent. Rumors swirl of a dark cult that has seized the hearts and minds of its people, twisting the village into a hollow ghost of its former self. Those who resist the cult's lure vanish without a trace. With danger in every shadow and despair sinking into the claws of the land, the question remains, can our unlikely heroes uncover the truth behind Dunmire's fall, or will they become the next victims of its creeping darkness? The journey begins in our first recorded session for the Adventures of Randomness. Greetings, adventurers. This is Kazu of the Warmforge here, and today I have for you the first recorded session of an Adventures of Randomness. This is a series of sessions that I run in the Starry Shores, which is an amazing online server. If you want to play D&D online, look no further than the Starry Shores. There is going to be a link to our Discord in the description below. This is going to be a place where we play D&D online all the time, 24/7. It is a blast, and the Adventures of Randomness sessions are basically sessions where we roll random characters, we go off on random adventures, and we fight random ass things, whatever the dice gods feel like we should be doing. So these are mainly for more experienced players who are able to adapt to playing a new character or class or race that they are unfamiliar with. If you're a total newbie, you might get stuck up just figuring out the rules in general. So we typically try to orient these sessions for experienced players who are looking to mix up their games. Maybe they're tired of playing the character that they've invested 1,000 hours into, and they just want to try something fresh, you know? Sometimes playing a random character leads to you becoming totally invested in a subclass or class that you have never tried or never even heard of, and that leads to a heck of a lot of fun. Now, we do usually allot for about an hour for character creation, which you might think is actually too little time, but we actually make the characters, or at least we roll the generation for the characters extremely fast using an alias in Avrae. So if you're not familiar, Avrae is a Discord D&D bot. This is going to allow you to basically automate things. You can use Discord for all of your dice rolls. You're basically virtualize your character sheet and use that through Discord when you play D&D. Now, even if you don't use that for D&D, what you can use it for is these aliases, and you're going to see here we have a series of aliases that are part of Raz's Randomizer. This is made by Jack. Shout out to Jack from our server. You can input any one of these aliases, for example, random class, and it is going to roll automatically and select you and show you what class you are going to be playing. All you have to do is check the link in the description, subscribe to this workshop alias or this workshop extension, and then you can start using these aliases immediately. So let me show you an example. Now, if we do !Raz random, that is going to show you what is on screen here. Actually, let me zoom in. All right, so that is going to show you the !Raz random is going to show you this. These are the commands. These are the shortcuts for all the commands, the aliases, and they're going to do specific things. So we have rand race to generate our race, rand class to generate our class and subclass. We have rand back to generate the background, rand feat to generate random feats. We do like to have random feats. I think it's really fun to ignore any sort of prerequisites for feats and then just have entirely random feats for our characters. A lot of the times, yes, you're going to get something goofy that's probably not very useful for you, but Rare events, you are going to get really interesting combinations of characters getting racial feats, or feats that require certain backgrounds when they don't have those, and that always allows us for a really cool and random time. Now, of course, the most important thing is the rand stats, so that is automatically generated. If you're playing in person, by all means, roll for it. That's fun, but when we're playing D&D online, speed is definitely our priority here, and this just gets you the money there. You're going to see what your stats are. We like to have a range. When we roll random characters, the max is going to be 84 points allocation between the 7 rows, and the minimum is going to be 72 points. So if you roll plus or minus of that, then you have to deduct or add back points until you get to that score. So that's kind of what we like to do for the rand stats, because it keeps a little bit less variability on that. Now, of course, you can totally ignore that if you want. If someone rows max on every single row on all 6, or technically 7 of the rows, by all means, that's totally fine if you want to play that way. But I like to have a little bit of limits, at least for the random stats, just so it doesn't feel so bad for the people who roll poorly. But this is a random game, so by all means, if you want to take out that restriction, go ahead and do that. Now, we also have rand language, in case you want to roll random for your languages. It's very funny if you play Humblewood characters and you can't speak common, so you have to find a sort of middle ground or find a different way to communicate with your other players. And then, of course, we have rand type, which is what the DM can use to generate a random creature type. We don't have any sort of alias for random creatures that you can invite, but there's tons of tables online if you want to be able to roll random creatures. A lot of the times, I just roll the random creature type, and then I pick out and start planning for what the scenario is going to be and what the party is going to run into based upon that creature type. So yeah, with this Raz's randomizer, we are able to have completely random games. People are able to make their characters in minutes. Let's go ahead and give an example here. We are going to roll Rand Race. Boom, we have a Strig, Swift Strig, which I'll be honest, I haven't even heard of that before. I'm pretty sure it is from Humblewood. Let's see if we can look that up. Yes, this is from Humblewood. We are I think a bird folk. Yep, we're a bird folk. That's from Humblewood. Very awesome. We get access to a glide. We have talons, dark vision, pattern feathers to help us hide. Really good base walking speed. Wow. Not bad at all. That's going to be our race. And then we're going to go ahead and do grand class. Ooh, a rogue assassin. That kind of makes sense for a swift strig that has these pattern feathers, dark vision, and a very swift movement speed. That's freaking awesome. So we're an assassin, swift strig. We're going to do the next thing, which is going to be background. And then, say for example, we're playing at level 4, we would take a random feat. Let's try that out. Ooh, Guild Artisan, giving us insight and persuasion. Very useful skills for an assassin who's trying to get by and read people's expressions, as well as be able to persuade others to get into places that they shouldn't be. Very awesome. Then for a rand feat, Remarkable Recovery, which, hey, we'll take that. That's a +1 to con. That is not bad at all for in case things go bad. And then the most important part is going to be the random stats. Oh my god, in 86, we have a 17 and a 16. So we could have two stats that are an 18. That is kind of nuts, and we have the Remarkable Recovery. We technically could have a 20 con rogue if we really wanted. Obviously, I wouldn't do that, but it would be kind of funny to play a 20 con rogue. We could just take the +1, put that into our decks. Oh, and we do allow for Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, that custom rule that lets you assign the ASIs wherever you want. So you can take a +2 to one stat and a +1 to another stat, or 3 +1s. Well, +1 to 3 different stats if you want. We allow that. For generating random stats, we're rolling 7 times, we're dropping the lowest set, and we're dropping the lowest rows of each row. So it's very generous, these rows. If you want to be stricter and just do 6 sets, or roll 4 or roll 3d6 and just keep the dice rather than keep the 3 highest, that's totally up to you. But again, I like having at least some sort of favorability towards the player, because especially the race and the class, and the background. These things are totally random. There is nothing that's going to be skewed in the odds of the favor. So generating the random stats, we are a little bit generous on that. You can adjust it however you want, but in 86, that's cracked. We can have the +1 to the 17. We can make that an 18, put that to our dex. We could have the 16, give it the +2. We could have an 18 for our charisma or our wisdom. And then we could just take the 14 to con, and the rest don't really matter. That's freaking awesome. Really like that. This character would be a sick assassin, I think. And yeah, it's just that simple. In a couple of minutes, I had already finished making my character, and now, because the process to make the character was so fast, I can spend a lot of time on focusing for what is the flavor for this character going to be, what is maybe a little bit of a backstory I can give my character, what is their image, what are they going to look like, what are they going to sound like. And really, that's what the hour's for. If you play a spellcaster, you're definitely going to need time to pick out spells and things like that. But for the most part, we have this random generation that allows for the character to be built very quickly so that you can spend a lot of time on the flavor aspect of it, so that we can maximize the amount of enjoyment we're going to have when we actually play these on these random adventures. And so the rest of the footage I'm going to be showing you guys is on our first recorded randomizer session. It is a ton of fun. We have 4 excellent players, very creative, all of them, and they give a lot of personality to their characters, so I commend them for that. We have 4 different characters. We'll introduce them real quick, and then we're gonna just dive straight into the story. So hope you guys found this useful. Go ahead and check out the Alias Workshop, the Alias Workshop extension for Raz's Randomizer. If you are interested in downloading it and using it, I highly recommend it. If you're an experienced player, this is such a great way to freshen up D&D for you, to give you back a little bit of life, and to let you try out things that you otherwise wouldn't have an interest to or never thought to try to begin with in the first place. Welcome everyone, my name is Kazu. I've been DMing and playing D&D for the past 8 years, and for the past 3 or 4 years non-stop I have been playing in person and online, hosting tons of sessions ranging all levels of play and all types, varieties of players, from newbies to veterans and fully experienced power gamers. I've dealt with much of the sort. So we're going to be getting into an Adventures of Randomness today. That means that all the players here have rode completely random characters. They are playing these characters for the first time ever. This is going to be at level 5, and they did have a selection of items here from the magic item table F. A sentinel of power, 2 pearls of power, a sentinel shield, 2 pearls of power, boots of striding and springing, a weapon +1, a figurine of wondrous power, silver raven, a pearl of power, a shield +1, and a gem of brightness. That is the magical equipment for the adventurers here, as at least at this point they would have gone on some journeys of their own and seen things, traveled the lands, fought powerful creatures. All of you are gathering together today, as it seems the longer journeys you have either become friends or met up along the road. And within your area, we're going to be starting things off in Faerun along the Sword Coast. You hear of a town called Dunmire. It was once a quaint logging village nestled in the fog-choked woods near the Star Mounts. Dunmire was known for its cedarwood exports and strong community bonds, but at the moment, things have become silent. There are rumors about a cult that has moved into the town, or at least nearby to the town, and since their arrival, people have gone missing, people have started joining this cult. Dunmire, which was once a very lovely little logging village, is now pretty much a ghost town. And so hearing upon those rumors and being adventurers who of course have your own motivations, some of which might be helping others, some of which might be getting gold, you see this as an opportunity for adventure. And so you've made your way over to Dunmire, which is where I'm going to throw you guys into the Owlbear. Pop on into the Owlbear. You can drop your tokens at the very bottom. We'll make a little box for you. All right, perfect. Wow. Yeah, one of you guys really stands out compared to the rest. Holy shit.
All right, Peter.
A blue skin orc. Interesting. Very interesting.
His name. He looks like that, and his name is Snogbog. I can't.
We have our adventurers here arriving to the town of Dunmire. The site before you looks as such. Your group, they enter through what seems to be a moss-covered ridge, where the trees part like curtains, revealing this quaint little village. Nestled in a low valley where mist clings to the earth like a second skin, you see that the sun above is a pale disk. It pierces into the gloom, revealing the wooden buildings that you see around you. Let's zoom out. All of these wooden buildings are what seem to be covered in a little bit of moss, and as you look around, you see that there is a discarded sign, there's smashed bottles. It looks like a storm came through here, even though there's no signs of inundation or wind damage. The buildings, they are old and timber. You'll see that a lot of them, they have wooden boards over the windows or a sign that says closed. Off in the distance, you guys can make out, or at least the person with passive perception of 20 can make out, there are some occupants here. It seems to be an elven male and an elderly woman that are sitting down on some boxes and a bench, bantering to one another. There is a strange scent that hangs in the air. It's a little bit sweet, and yet there's something that's unsettling, something that smells metallic. Underfoot, the dirt pathway is cracked, and in between the gaps, you can see that there are signs of these discolored roots. I can't show it on the map here, but imagine there's these very vibrant red colored roots that seem to be sprawling out from the ground itself. A low hum. It almost sounds like a choir of distant, dissonant voices seems to seep from the earth itself. As you walk into the town, you're going to all see each other's faces, and that's where we're going to go over character introductions here. So we're going to get started from the top to the bottom. Then you can introduce your character first. Fastfist.
Hello, this is Rumble Fastfist. Fastfist, this side of the Sword Coast. He is a Mapak, I think that's how you say it. Way of the Long Death monk. And yeah, he's not someone you want to mess with. That's all.
Excellent. Next up we have is Gemma Fawn.
This is Gemma. She is a servant ranger gloomstalker. Yeah.
Do you want to drop your PP? Excellent. Very lovely. Next up we have is Snogbog.
Family in my room right now. Give me a second. Yeah. Come back to me.
Yeah, this is going to be you, Liu, or just you for short. She's going to be a warlock of the Pact of the Archfey. And I'm not going to go over the entirety of this, but she is of the Verdant Echo, near a place in Daggerford. He was born as a mageborn and had been marked as having arcane gifts and was brought to a reclusive academy in order to study and feel the flow of magic. Upon completing her apprenticeship, she was journeying alone through High Forest in Faerun when an otherworldly mist spilled out, lured her into a bit of the Feywild, where she was trapped and wandering for a long time until she met an archfey, Thistledown Laughing Blood, that was kind of enamored with you, Liu, and intrigued by her. Instead of claiming her soul, so that Thistledown made her an offer and decided to trade her power in respect of her Loxodon stubbornness and her elephant nature. So
Yes. Here lies Snogbog, champion of the Blood God, raised in the Colosseum where death lies, and there is no room for mercy. Blood must be spilled. And oh, Snogbog dreams of a worthy contender. Now, let's see what awaits our champion of blood, Snogbog.
Do we want to know each other? That's my first question. I'm down.
How would we know each
yeah,
other?
Let's
think
figure
By
that
the
out.
way,
Mhm.
would Fast Fist have a reputation?
He goes, yeah. I mean, what do you mean by reputation?
Like, as a warrior?
As like a boxer, sure. He's known for like boxing.
Mm. Yes, you would see Snogbog kind of towers over Fast Fist.
Okay.
And Gemma.
You.
And Gemma, probably.
Oh yes, and Trevor. But his gaze is set on Fast Fist. You. I know you. I've been
Good.
searching for you.
Oh, you've been searching
Are
for
you
me?
not Fast Fist, the boxer?
My friends call me FF, but yeah, I'm Fastfist.
FF. I shall remember your name. I am Snogbog, champion of blood.
Champion of Blood. That sounds intense. I merely compete for gold, friend. I don't compete for blood. Although blood is a byproduct of my occupation and my fists.
I only wish to spill it.
Okay. Can I roll an insight check to see if he means my blood?
What is your
Cool.
passive insight? I'm pretty sure your passive insight is high enough to determine.
Passive insight 17.
Yeah, 17.
Oh,
Does Snogbog seem hostile or aggressive at all, or does he just seem to mean it in general?
He seems curious and intrigued. Like he wants to at some point,
Test your
go
skills
toe
in
to
battle.
toe with Mr. FF. Yes, exactly.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what you kind
yes.
of get off of it.
Okay. Well, friend, I don't fight for cheap. So, and I don't fight for no reason. Especially just for glory. That's kind of the byproduct.
It is life without glory, friend.
While you two are talking,
Mm-hmm.
Yu's gonna walk over and kind of look at both of you, make a little bit of almost like a finger snapping noise by quickly extending her trunk and making a little bit of just a snap to get your attention, and will say, Now, you two, quit your posturing.
You see Fast Fist kind of react to that. He kind of just like looks at you in a bit of surprise and smiles. Posturing. That's a humorous notion. But yes, we should quit this. I agree.
Yes, don't want to
Yes.
snarls.
Yes, we don't have all
Another
day.
time then.
If you want blood, Snogbog, you must get it elsewhere. Come.
He just there's a little glare. Snarls. Perhaps you're right. Don't worry. I am patient when it comes to worthy warriors.
Good. And I'll walk off. And kind of, as I see Gemma kind of following and Yulu, I'll speak to Gemma actually in Servan.
Gemma will say back, that guy's kind of intense.
Yeah, I was That's kind of crazy. You see guys like that, guys who are after blood and glory all the time. For them, the money is just a byproduct, you know, in boxing at least. Those are the guys you gotta watch out for. They like the violence.
I mean, I'm not turning down the violence. I like the violence, but he's just a little bit intense. Hey, Snogbog, has anyone ever braided your hair?
He looks down
How tall is
in
Snogbog?
this hair. Oh, I gotta say he's a good old 8 foot tall.
Okay. So she's like 2 foot tall, 2 feet shorter. So she's gonna like tilt her head up and look at you and be like, I think you should let me braid your hair. It might make you feel better.
Going to crouch down, look at you. As he pulls a strand of his hair towards you. Let's see what you can do, little one.
Okay, cool. Come on. She grabs your hair and starts pulling you along.
Wow.
Wait, that's not what I meant.
DM, as we're going to be starting to walk down and into this
Oh man.
this settlement that we're in, is a 14 passive perception high enough to kind of see some of these buildings look very obvious, like does one appear to be kind of like a general store or houses, things like that?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
First roll of the game. Ooh.
Excellent.
All right, a 21. You are going to see that there seems to be like a mayor's office building over here. There is a regular homestead over here, a general store over here, and a tavern over here. And then over here at the top is going to be more lodging. This is like a church building. You'll notice that there are signs of closure on all the three buildings here. To the northeast, where you see the Cattle's Horns, this inn, that seems to have its doors open. Everything else here seems closed. You do spot two individuals over here, and you also hear some rustling in this alleyway past the mayor's office. The rest of the town is quiet.
Kind of mumble to my companions and say, strange, some of these buildings are boarded up. Of course, Gemma, we must at least get some information about our current locale.
And this cult.
If you think it wise to ask them directly, Fast Fists, I will not stop you.
No. I'm not the most, how do I say, good with people. I know them very well, but talking's never been my strong suit.
I've noticed.
Damn.
That quickly,
Allow me.
you noticed that quickly that he's not good at talking. What if he was just intimidated by Mr. Snogbog?
Hold on,
Don't worry.
I'm waiting to see what it looks like Snogbog's about to do something. So
Good. He's going to stand right towards his elvish one.
Yeah, you're going to see that there is an elven male wearing commoner's clothes. He's got golden hair that's braided on both sides, and he seems to be peeling an apple of sorts until you guys arrive, at which point he puts away his dagger and looks at all of you very curiously. You adventurers? What are you doing around here in Dunmire?
What has happened here? And I suggest you speak clearly.
You heard the rumors. This place is a ghost town now. Ever since the cult of the wild storms came in, everyone's been taken off to the mountains, and he points up out of the valley where you see a thin ridge that leads towards a waterfall. There ain't nothing here to look at, friend. You best turn back.
I've come searching for worthy opponents. Expect this whatever cult has been rumored to have such opponents.
You looking to pick enemies with the cult of the wild storms? Well, be my guest. You know,
Oh yes.
Grimgore's brother got taken the other day. It seems that, well, it wasn't too long ago they arrived. Their leader, what was his bloody name? Orlith. He was a pretty charming guy. He told everyone here that, well, if they joined his little religious group, they could get the powers they dreamed of. Anything, arcane magic, physical might, whatever else have you. He said he was an alchemist of some sort, and that he's brought wonders from, well, his deity. I'll tell you what, everyone bought into it. After he started showing off his gizmos and things like that, they joined him, and, yeah, ever since then, things have been a fucking ghost town here. You can tell his thoughts are a little bit jumbled right now. He says, Grimgore, he's, one of the dwarves that lives here. His brother, his twin brother, Grimgar, he got taken by the cult. Grimgore says he didn't go willingly. He refused them, and they just grabbed his Rumsparius butt and took him over to the mountains. That's where they're hiding out.
How long ago did this happen?
I'm not sure. You'd have to talk to him. He's in the tavern.
Thank you for giving up that information to us. We are going to be going on this presently. Mr. Snogbog here is looking for a fight. Snog, you're not going to find anything here in this settlement. We're going to have to go up into the mountains.
Perfect.
Yeah, you'll see that there's this elderly woman over here who seems to have her eyes like halfway closed. She's kind of mumbling to herself, and as soon as you kind of speaks up, she's gonna look at you and be like, "What's an elephant doing here?"
Looking to solve your problems.
It talks. How strange. What sort of creature are you? Are you with those nasty cultists?
No, I don't need whatever trinkets this person is selling. Can you give me an idea of what kind of alchemy that he's capable of doing?
Oh, all kinds of miracles, dear. His magical toys, whatever you call them, you could pick them up, and they give you magic to read anything, any book. Doesn't matter what script it's in. He could give you a sword that glow and glimmer in the light. You wouldn't need a torch anymore. All sorts of crazy things. You're not with the Cult of the Wild Storms?
No, I am with myself and occasionally others, and you will gesture back behind her and say, yes, this miracle worker. It seems as if you don't have too many people of great power here in this settlement.
Well, we did at one point, but a long time ago, a dragon came through, quite mean and nasty one. There was a lot of adventure here, and the dragon was felled, but afterwards, things became quaint. We stuck to logging, our best trade, and the adventurers left because, well, there was no more adventuring to be had. So, most of the people here, they live here their whole lives. And the rest, well, some travel through, some trade here and there, but other than Larissa, there's not really anyone like yourselves that seem to be, well, strong and suited in magic.
Well, I am quite sorry to hear that you have had a series of misfortunes. We will do what we can. We will attempt to take out this cult and help save any of the people that have been swayed by this person. And of course, we will leave and not stay so as not to draw the ire of anyone in the current location that might want to take us down in turn. Never fear.
She'll place her hand over your kind of large gray arm, and she'll say, "Thank you, dear. That would be... If you could restore back this village by dealing with the cult, that would be very greatly appreciated. But be very careful when dealing with the cults of the Wild Storms. You mess not with just the elements, but of something far darker. I could see it beyond his eyes. That man gets his power from something beyond. May Kalemvor guide you. And she's going to cast guidance upon you. In the name of Kalemvor, the god of life and death.
Before I leave, one final question. What divine power is this leader using? What god do they worship?
Said it was a very special god. He wouldn't speak its name. Not in public.
Throughout that conversation,
Yeah.
would I have been able to tell not if she believes what she's saying, because I believe that she believes what she's saying, but if she's kind of like all there, you know what I mean? Or if she's just like
You
kind
want to
of.
see if she's like a crazy old lady.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Give me an active insight check.
Yeah.
Nice. 24.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell she's lost some of her faculties. Her eyes are like kind of halfway closed, and the way that she was mumbling in the beginning is definitely not a good indicator for her mental well-being. She seems to be very old, probably beyond her 60s, which, you know, in a fantasy time is quite old for humans. She might be 70 or 80 years old. But given the way that she was able to talk about the cult, you think the information, at least if she's being honest, which she seems to be, is fairly reliable.
Crazy old lady notwithstanding, she knows what she's doing. Got it.
Yeah.
She knows what she's talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, I'll tell the group, yeah, that information's solid.
Yeah, so the path to the north east over here, like beyond the stairs here, that would be going off to the ridge up to the mountains, where you do see a waterfall and an opening near that waterfall. But that seems to be at least a mile and a half, 2 miles off from this village.
Oh, okay.
Before we wander off too far, I do think that I want to go look for Grimgor. I want to use this guidance that I was just given, some kind of knowledge check, see if the description she was giving me about toys that can allow people to use magic, if that's going to fit with what I think it is above the table.
Do you want to make an Arcana check for me or a History check? You can do an Arcana or a History.
Either one. I'm going to pick Arcana just from my my background as the Mageborn and going to that academy. Let me see.
Oh yeah, definitely. Since you're Mageborn, I'll let you roll with advantage.
Perfect. Would I be able to throw a different ability on there as well, instead of intelligence?
Yeah, because your training was less so in the wizardly magic, but more so this other entity that has given you power. So you can roll with charisma. It'll be an Arcana check, charisma with guidance and advantage. So let's hope for a high roll here, because you will need to have a roll very high for this.
Nice.
23. Ooh, that's pretty good. All right. Oh, so what was your guess?
Definitely some kind of an artificer.
Yes, that definitely seems to be the case, that an artificer has come into this town that doesn't seem to have a whole lot of powerful magic, and brought all of these incredible magical items and started giving them to the residents so that they would join his cause. However, you also received a warning from this woman that something darker is at play here, and perhaps he is an artificer, but he might also have some other magical capabilities, maybe a dip in the warlock or wizard class.
Excellent. And as we're walking off, I want to mumble just loudly enough that my companions next to me can hear. Yes, I know what it's like to have something.
Can I talk to the old lady?
Yeah, definitely. She's still sitting on that bench.
So Gemma wants to come over and she's gonna be like, so, miss, this looks like a town that might have quite a few weapons stashed away. Do you know about where I can get a gun?
She's going to look at you, and then high or low?
Oh, low.
Oh.
What is a gun? I'm afraid our general store is closed at the moment, dear. The the person who ran the general store, his name was Braun. He's joined up with the cult.
Are they? They've left.
I'm
They're
afraid
no
so.
longer in the town.
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts was this general store?
She'll point over to the building that is on the bottom right of the map.
Light
one that
bulb
has-
goes off.
The one that has the
fast.
little wagon next to it.
Not this one, or this one over here.
No, this one.
All right. Do you, I guess what the town has been completed. Are you the only two left in the town?
Oh, not at all, dear. There's others, but most of them keep to their houses at the moment. We don't want to deal with any trouble from the cultists. They seem to come by at night sometimes, and there's, well, Grimgor's saying that they've been taking people away, and they took away his twin brother. They kidnapped him. But the rest of them are usually in the tavern, if they're not in their homes.
That's the building over there to the north, right? She points up here.
No, the tavern's right here. The Cattle's Horns.
Ah.
Look at the sign.
Ah, I see. Okay, well, thank you for your time. I hope you have a good day.
Be careful, dear, if you deal with the cult of the wild storms. More than the elements will face you.
There's also a letter back here. Do you want to go read that? Just a letter.
Hey, I'll ask in servant. Are you good at ask Gemma? Do you wanna check out the general store real quick? Nobody's in there.
Sure.
Or nobody should be in there.
Yeah,
Alright.
heck yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna inform actually
Are
Never
you going
mind.
to inform?
no.
I mean, you should at least tell them
are
what
we
you're
just
doing.
gonna
'cause,
disappear?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, I'll be like, hey, we're gonna go check something out real quick, okay?
hey, Snogbog, I need to go to the store and get some gel for your hair. I'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
You see him
This is a-
start kind of touching his hair. I see. Be quick.
I will here's
Look at
something.
this letter here. This letter on the ground.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have a 20. I can see the letter on the ground. Right? Is this relevant?
Give me 1 second. Let's check. Let's check a certain spell. Actually, no. Let me not do that in the chat.
I'm like looking. I'm like, there's a gun
Fireball.
over here. There's a gun up here.
As soon as you look at this letter, it seems to be unintelligible, the words written on it.
Oh.
Unless you have eyes of the Runekeeper, it does not seem like you can understand what's written here. Or you can make me an Arcana check if you want to find out why it's unintelligible.
Yeah. I'm gonna is the coast clear? Can I make like a quick look around just to see who's around?
Yeah. You can give me an
Okay.
active perception, otherwise you're going to use passive.
Got it. Cool. So since I'm gonna cast guidance on myself, since I have what's that feat that gives me guidance? God damn it. Sign of the outer planes, lawful outer plane. Yep. There we go. So hang on. So perception, guidance. Oof, that's only a 10.
I'll be nice. What is your passive perception?
17.
17? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both you guys will see that there seems to be a young child in a blue robe that is peering out behind the stables at you guys, just watching what you're up to.
Oh.
So you do have someone watching you.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back. Let's go. Is there a back door? A window?
Oh, let me see.
Maybe. Yeah. Can we sneak? Yeah.
You guys can both give me some stealth checks, and then it seems like
Yeah.
there's a window on the back somewhere.
Okay.
It
Not good at
is
stealth.
boarded up.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
That's
You
one
manage
success and one
to
failure,
bump
I
into the
think.
cart as you kind of make your way over here, making an audible noise, but doesn't seem like anyone reacts to it because there doesn't seem to be anyone directly here. That being
Okay.
said, you see that there is one window. It is boarded up.
Okay. As we're in the back, I'm gonna pull out what looks like a trash bag and just dump out a bunch of trash and like scurry around like a raccoon And then use Scroungecraft, which is my racial ability, and use Tinker's tools to make thieves' tools.
let's pull up that race feat.
Yeah, for sure.
Scrounge. Ooh.
There you go. You're proficient with Tinker's tools. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
dope. Oh, I love this idea. Yeah, you're definitely able to make some thieves' tools. I will say though, this is not locked. This window. This is boarded up.
Yeah. I'm trying to use the thieves' tools at the front door.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Gemma just pulls out a crowbar as you're doing that. She's like, "We could just use this."
I'm like digging furiously through trash, just like, and just like making shit. Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you want to try that?
You can take a point of inspiration. You can take a point of inspiration for acting like a raccoon, even though in the fantasy world, no one knows what the fuck a raccoon is here. They're like, "Is that a homeless guy?"
Yeah, exactly.
Is that just a dude that brings the fucking recyclable cans around and walks around with them and then digs through them?
Yeah, okay, you got this, Gemma. I believe in you. I give you guidance. You got this on the back window.
Yeah, if you want, you can make me an athletics check to use the crowbar. Using the crowbar, you have advantage on the athletics check.
Yep. And you have guidance.
Is it ADV first or after?
After. It doesn't matter.
After, damn.
Oh, you also
I
get
mean,
guidance.
but definitely after the skill name.
Yeah.
Oh, good
17.
thing you had advantage. It's a good thing you had the crowbar
Yeah,
there,
good thing.
because
Yeah.
you use leverage to break off one of the boards, as you would now have access into the interior of the map.
Perfect.
Nice. And she's just gonna like almost vault
Yeah.
in.
Oh, sorry. We'll say the window's over here.
Where?
Okay.
Over here at the
Oh.
where the doorway is. I didn't actually know
Yep.
what the interior of the map looked like until I deleted the old one.
Nice.
All right, but yeah. And inside, you will see this is like the storage room. And beyond that is going to be a sort of general store where all of the produce would be gone. There is some adventuring supplies, some basic adventuring supplies. In the back storage room, though, you guys can make me an investigation check. As you look around, you see that there is a weapon rack with dusty weapons on it. Most of those look normal, like typical great axe, great sword, long sword, short sword, spears.
Hey, Gemma, roll an additional d4. I'll cast guidance on you. There you go. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
18.
All
Also,
right.
like, curious, is this? Like, maybe is there any information about the cult and like why this guy left and why he's not here and stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah, let's see. We'll say your investigation check is pretty decent. Okay, so you will have to give me two, though. So one, you can tell me which one this is going to be for. You're 18. One can be for finding information about the cult, and the other can be for finding something useful from the storage room.
Okay, I'm gonna do this roll for the finding the useful information since that applies to our actual objective.
Okay. Okay, so we'll take the 18 first. You find a note that is written to his. It's from Braun, and it's written to his late wife. Actually, not late wife. It's written to his child. He says, "I've gone up into the mountains to meet this Orlaith person. They speak of the magical items they can have, and perhaps if I can find a way to use their abilities, maybe if I can train under them, then I could start creating magical items to sell here at this store. Maybe we can bring back the business to Dunmire, which has been in the decline lately." And he seems very excited about that. So you'll see that Orlaith, when he went up to Dunmire, he had shown him of these magical weapons. Basically, what you can tell is that he gave them all infused weapons that had, what is it called? Radiant weapon. So the radiant weapons for Artificer, they are a +1 weapon that can shed light in a 30-foot radius. And also, you can, as a reaction from when you're being hit, you can expend one of the charges to blind others. So he kind of showed off to the villagers here these radiant weapons that Orlaith had crafted. And, given that a lot of these people were commoners, they were amazed by this item.
And I'll check around just for what's in our general surroundings. Ooh, let's go.
Nice.
Nice. And indeed, you will find there is a radiant musket along with a +1. Actually, hold on. We'll say that for sure there's a radiant musket, but I'm also going to roll on MI table F. We're going to roll once on that. And we're going to roll on MI table B twice. Actually, no. We'll do it 3 times. Ooh.
Ooh.
So you find a Medallion of Thoughts, a Radiant Musket, which, if you want to know what a musket is, it's just going to be a ranged weapon that deals, I believe, 1d10 damage, plus your dex mod.
Cool.
And it's a loading weapon. So it's kind of an upgrade from the bow. Well, not really. But it's radiant, so it's a +1. It's a +1 gun.
I assume there's ammunition sitting with the gun.
Yes.
Cool.
You also get a Medallion of Thoughts, Goggles of Night, Potion of Water Breathing, and a Spell Scroll of 2nd level.
Nice.
Sick.
It's a Spell Scroll of Dark Vision, so it is a Spell Scroll of Night Vision.
Nice.
So basically duplicate Goggles of Night. But yeah, that's what you guys find as you kind of scram through the store. So that's going to be for looking through the entirety of the storage room and then also the main area.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to refill
Wow.
my water real fast. I'll be right back.
These were some good finds. Let's go give them some of this stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Wait, let me grab this gel right here. Snogbog's
Right.
hair.
Hair gel. Yeah. I clean up my trash and I pick it all up.
Close the
Yeah.
window. She's gonna
Yeah.
close the window.
Oh yeah,
We're
you
never
gotta.
here.
We're never here, even though it's clear that there are like 2 boards like right over there that we've clearly pried off.
Shh. You don't see those there. She like sweeps some dirt over them with her with her hoof.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Snogbog, I got the gel for your hair. Okay, don't worry. You'll be looking nice and pretty very soon, and not so intense. She looks.
All right.
Do you want this? She holds out the Medallion of Thoughts. I don't know what this does, but maybe you do.
It just looks. You seem amused by Snogbog.
I'm pretty amused, yeah. I haven't seen the likes of you around before, and she like pushes her finger into your chest. She's obviously not afraid of you at all, but she is very amused.
And I have never met anyone like you. Such
Yeah, you never will
bravery should
again. And she flicks her hair.
I was going to say, never mind. Seems you have a heart of a warrior.
You could say that. I've got some history, you know. Are you good? Do you want this Medallion of Thoughts? I don't know if you're muted, Dante's. Okay.
No, that's that. I was waiting for our DM to come back.
I'm back. I pulled up the Medallion of Thoughts. It is going to let you cast the Detect Thoughts spell.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just take them thoughts.
Would I even be able to attune to it at some point? It's going to take an hour.
I mean, you're not in a rush necessarily right now.
Yes, if we get the chance, I might as well get it. So,
I mean, it looks like it's about 2 miles away, the ridge where the river mouth or the opening and the waterfall is on top of the ridge. So it probably would take about 30 minutes to get there. So if you want to like just hang around here for a little bit and then start walking there, you would be able to get your short rest.
and Gemma, dear, where did you find this?
Oh, you know, just lying around.
Make a deception check.
Can I give you the help action? Yeah, we were just chilling. We just found this.
Sure.
What? And you said advantage?
Ooh.
There you go. Oof.
It doesn't seem like they did anything shady to get this.
Very well. Well, next time you happen to have some useful magic trinkets in your inventory, please let me know.
Yeah, we have all these fun things here.
Hmm.
She showed you like all the goods.
I
Are
do
you
have
sure
the
you don't wanna make-
consumables pinned, but for the
Shiny.
ones that you just got, make sure to keep track of that because I'm not actually.
Yeah, I
I guess
got
I guess I can pin it. I'll be nice. I just gotta delete these
I
pins.
got it.
Okay.
Would anyone find these useful? And I hold out the goggles.
Gemma, are you sure that you don't want to keep this medallion? It's very nice.
Oh, I just thought, we'd bring you back something, but if you don't want it, I'll take it. Do you want any of this other stuff? And she shows you she points at the goggles that Fast Fist is holding and the potion of water breathing. She's like, well, I guess we could just keep all this stuff and use it if we need. Potion of water breathing, spell scroll of night vision.
Let's walk and talk. Describe it to me.
What am I describing?
Let me know what you found, and I think we're gonna go talk with Grimgor before we leave.
Oh, back over here.
Was that the dwarf?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, the one whose brother was apparently forcibly taken by these cultists.
The doorway is right over here.
Yes, Gemma, what kind of goggles did you find?
Goggles of night vision. I think they'll help us see at night if we're going up in the mountains really late and it gets dark.
I see. Well, my nature allows me to see very well in darkness, so
Wait.
see if one of these two
That's good.
layabouts needs some goggles.
Layabouts.
Little fawn. I am ready.
Yes. Oh, okay. She sits down right here and she gets the brush and she starts brushing all his hair. Well, no, she has to stand up. She's standing on the stool, actually, to be fair. And she's standing on the stool and she starts brushing his hair and she gets the gel and she's braiding it all nicely. And she's giving him like dread braids basically. And then she binds it all together and he's like, look, now your hair will stay out of your way when you're fighting and it won't get all bloody.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a hairstyle for a pure warrior.
Exactly.
Give me you can give me either a sleight of hand check or you can give me a, what else would work? No, I think a sleight of hand check would be best here. You need to be nimble. Oh my god!
Oh no!
You want to take that now one?
I mean, no. Okay, you know what? No.
You're gonna use your inspo?
No. Take the now one. Nothing bad would happen. Totally not.
No.
You're not gonna braid
Let's
his
not
hair
mess
so
up
tight that he
the
gets a
scary
headache.
orc's hair. There, much
There
better.
you go. Very nice.
Worth
Yeah.
it.
It looks immaculate, these braids, as Snogbog, you would feel that your hair weighs you down a little bit less. It moves in a way that flows very well, and it also looks very scary. So you're going to have a plus, we'll say you'll have a +2 to intimidation checks.
Nice.
You can roll my oh right, because I'm gonna do it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you see he kind of like swishes his hair. Oh yes, this is the hair of a warrior. I commend your work, little fawn.
Thank you. Yes, a fabulous warrior indeed. Look, I think that bartender over there is checking you out, Snogbog. Maybe you should go talk and she likes the new look.
All right, yeah, let me actually describe the interior of the tavern. As you guys enter inside, there is unfortunately not a revolver here. This is a wild mess map, but don't worry about that. We'll say there is the little empty barber's area, and then there's some tables where you will see two dwarves who are sitting down. One of them seems to be piss drunk at this point. And they definitely seem to have a lot of empty mugs at their table. And then at the back of this bar counter, and the interior is very rustic and kind of old looking. At the back of the bar counter, though, you'll see a woman who is wearing a leather apron over top what seems to be some leather armor. She seems to be a human female with blondish hair, and at her side, what would stand out the most is a kind of light green scaled dragon wormling that seems to be very much friendly and helping her out in the kitchen. Ah, greetings, adventurers. Welcome to the Cattle's Horns. It's been quite some time since we've had outsiders show up. Please, allow me to get you something to drink, and she'll take out some mugs and fill them up with mead. First round is on the house.
Thank you, and greetings, gentle people of Dunmire. We are here for a purpose. We're looking to take care of this cult of the wild storms that has been disappearing people from the settlement, and I'm also looking for the dwarf Grimgor. I believe his brother was taken, and I wanted to see if I could get some information.
What? And you're gonna see that the guy who looked very, very drunk, he's gonna lift his head up upon you mentioning him and his brother's name. He's gonna look around. You gotta stop them! These fucking bloody cultists! They're from the Wild Storms or whatever the fuck it's called. Bastards! They took my brother. His name's Grimgar. They pulled him up to the mountains, and they're gonna do some dark magical shit. I'm telling you, they're gonna sacrifice him in a ritual. And then he starts fucking about to like fall over on top of you because of how drunk he is. He's just gonna kind of stumble over, and you're gonna see this other dwarf kind of gets up out of his chair and he says, Calm down, Grimgor. Don't get so riled up yet, all right? Sorry about that." He's gonna pull Grimgor back. "The lad's right, though. His brother's been taken, and we're awfully worried about him. No one from the town has come back ever since joining up with that damn cult in the mountains."
Of course, no harm done. I understand. When family is taken, then emotions are high. We will deal with them as we can, and any information you could give if they're planning something, if they're going to perform some kind of ritual, it would be nice for me to know. Anything you can tell me. If you happen to know possibly the power that they are worshipping, that might be a start.
Grimgor is still going to be drunk, but he'll look at you. He'll be like, "My brother, he saw something. I'm telling you. When that cult leader, whatever the fuck his name was, Orlith, showed up in town, he had a big wagon with him. And my brother Grimgar, well, he's a nosy one, so he was looking around in that wagon. He saw some sort of fucking egg, but it wasn't for a dragon. It wasn't for a bird. It was for something fucking nasty," he said. It had fangs and tentacles, and I don't know what it was, but it sounded like a monster.
They had an egg, but also saw a monster at the same time. Had it hatched then?
And there was a few more of the eggs, but the one that he saw, it looked like this, and he's gonna draw. He's still drunk, so he's gonna attempt to draw for you an image. We're just gonna do the draw tool here. It's gonna look like that. It was some sort of crazy looking monster. It had these weird limbs. They looked like tentacles or claws or something. And yeah, his drawing is going to look very terribly written on a napkin. If anyone wants, they can make me an intelligence check.
This is gonna go well.
I think that I want to at least try something. Nature, unless oh, there we go. This looks like Snog went for it. So, are we allowed to do this as a group or individually?
If you do intelligence check, it's going to be as a group.
Excellent.
As you guys all stare at this napkin and try to piece it together. All right. Your average isn't going to be great, but you kind of piece out that this creature. It looks kind of like a crustacean, kind of like the head of a shrimp with its little mandibles raised up. Not mandibles, its little appendages raised up. You get the feeling that this creature, it's a monstrosity, so it could take any form of shape, but it kind of looks like the cross between a dragon and a crustacean.
Gemma's gonna tilt her head while looking at it. Oh, I kind of see it. Kind of.
They're raising something nasty up there, I'm telling you. I bet they're using the people as food for the damn thing. Bastards.
Well, that's not good to hear. In that case, we might want to put a hurry on.
My brother got taken a day and a half ago. It might not be too late for him. You gotta save him. And he's gonna start crying at Yulu's
Aw.
feet.
Oh no.
You gotta save him.
Yu is actually going to she's going to draw her like robe tighter about herself and kind of step to the side a little bit. Yes, we will do what we can.
Yeah, Gemma's gonna join. I don't do well with criers.
I go and I give him a big hug.
Aw, that's very nice of you.
I console him.
Yo.
There. You want some trash?
What?
I'm
Trash?
kidding. Can I buy you a beer?
Yeah, I'll have another beer.
Blood.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
I give him a beer. This one's on me.
Yeah, we'll say you guys have at least, at least between the range of 10 to 20 gold.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wealthy by any means, but you certainly have some pocket change, so you're able to get him a beer. Larissa will kind of be like, he hasn't been in the best of mood. I mean, his twin brother's gone. Anyone would be down in the dumps like him. If you can find Grimgar, that'd be greatly appreciated, or at least just any information about it if you want to look into the cults. They're up in the mountains.
Okay. Got you.
Absolutely. Can you give me one more piece of information? How many of the townsfolk have joined in with them? Would you know their numbers?
At least a dozen or so.
More than I was expecting. Very well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell the people in this tavern, they seem a little bit more ventured than most, but based upon what the people have told you, it sounds like it's mostly commoners that have joined up.
Yeah, I think you will be thinking to herself, even a commoner can be dangerous if an artificer has given them something to.
That is true.
Some kind of weapon. Even a commoner can throw something that can be a magical explosive or something that can hold great power. So. Very well then. What think the rest of you? Are you wanting to head out now?
Yeah,
I don't
let's go get
mind.
us some
I don't
cultists.
mind waiting, of course.
I'm ready. Nom nom nom.
Let's go.
Yes, the faster we can check in on Grimgar, the faster we can help. Poor Grimgor is crying.
All right.
Come, Snogbog.
I'm just finishing my meal.
Very well. Just gonna wait
Gemma's-
out on the front porch until
Gemma's
Snogbog is
gonna-
ready to go.
Whisper, she's like, I think that's his fourth meal, actually.
Yeah. He eats a lot.
Very good, very good.
Nice job with the hair, by the way. It almost looked like it was going to go really bad for 1 second, but then it was like pretty good.
You know, you just gotta trust the process. That's what happens.
Yeah.
I feel like a new warrior.
I'm glad, Snogbog. She pats you on the shoulder.
Very well. Who wants to take the lead on this trail?
I
You,
can.
FF.
You could.
I could, yeah. I'm okay
Mm.
at survival. Yeah.
Let's see what you can do.
I shall lead.
Gemma, you have good eyes as well.
I do. I do. Question mark.
Yes, do.
Wait! And as you guys are leaving town, you're gonna see Grimgore, still drunk, is running after you guys. This was my brother's sword. I'm not any good with it, but hey, maybe you can make use of it to help save him. And he is going to, let's see. I said sword, but I'm gonna roll on table H. Actually, no. A, B, C, D, F, G. We're gonna do table G. We're gonna do one roll on table G. Oh,
Ooh.
he
Ooh.
take back the part where he said sword. This is my brother's armor. Maybe you can make use of it while he's gone. And he's gonna hand +1 leather armor to the party.
Hopefully, someone can use that.
I sure hope. If someone can't, that would be shocking.
I'm pretty sure you can, man.
But none of you can't. None of you can have armor. Literally.
I have unarmored defense. Yeah.
Yeah, same. My my Loxodon has unarmored defense, so
I'm a monk, yeah. So
Snogbog,
Go on,
do you
Gemma.
need some armor?
go for it, Gemma.
Oh my gosh, but I feel like I've been getting everything. This
Doesn't
isn't
matter.
fair.
That's part of the charm
That's
of a
part of, yeah,
randomizer.
it's part of it being random.
mhm.
Good, because this scale mail gives me disadvantage. Get this off.
All right.
You're wearing like Uggs, but like they have like they have chainmail on them, so they're making a lot of noise.
Exactly.
Excellent. Yeah,
They
I
have
just
lots of
tried. Even
little-
if I put leather +1 on, it doesn't raise my AC at all. So.
I think it might actually lower mine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I should put leather.
You guys can, or at least it seems like Gemma can grab the +1 leather armor, and then
Mhm.
would you guys like to head out? We can change maps.
I would love to.
All right, excellent. Yeah, we're gonna save you guys some time since I don't have all the time in the world for today. Unfortunately, I have some plans later in the afternoon, so we're just gonna go straight over to this mountain ridge, where as you guys are making your way up in elevation, it starts to get higher and higher to the point now where you look down below and down from the cliffside. It's about 100-foot drop. It's pretty far down, but you guys finally make it along what seems to be a rocky pathway up top, where you see there is a waterfall. You hear that sound of rushing water, shh, and it goes right out off the cliff face into what seems to be a river of some sort. And you can see that this is a pretty powerful stream of water that is coming through that has an opening which leads into a cave mouth. And past this point, the trail seems to end altogether. So it looks like you finally made it up top to the ridge after what seems to be about 30 minutes traveling. Currently, it is, we'll say it's in the afternoon. It's maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And right now, the sun is a little over past its highest point. What would you guys like to do?
I have an idea.
I'm listening.
I can cross this pretty easily, actually. This waterfall. But I think maybe we have to go through it. I'm not sure.
Oh, sorry. Can you guys put what your dark vision is? I didn't add vision to your tokens yet.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Put what
I see it.
your vision is into the chat, and then I'll add that to your token. All right. Now you guys should be able to see into the map, correct?
Yep.
So you're going to see that over here, the waterfall, it goes off the edge of the ridge here. And so to get inside, it does seem like you're going to have to traverse the water, which is moving at a decent speed. To push against the current flow, you'd probably have to make some sort of athletics check to make it inside.
I'm going to see Snogbog approach.
Allow me to take the brunt of the force, or you follow behind me. The
Okay.
satisfactory.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, Snogbog is going to try and enter the middle of the waterfall to try and use his body as not human, an orc shield
Okay.
to make it easier for everyone else to follow through.
Yeah, you're gonna feel that towards the mouth of this cave is where the flow is the fastest.
Mhm.
So give me an athletics check. Actually, yeah. Give me an athletics check. I said it was gonna be an athletics check, so we'll make it one.
Gotcha. Oh my goodness. Let me no. I'm not doing that. You can do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So you kind of pave the way as you push in to the water here. It goes a little bit of a slope up and then into the mouth of the cave where it seems more calm. Right now, anyone else who's going to follow Snogbog directly behind them, they'd have advantage on their athletics checks.
Ooh, yes, I'll
You see
definitely
pushing
use
back the water. Get behind me.
Get behind Brom.
Excellent. And as we're doing that, seeing we're going to go into a dark area, even though we can see with dark vision, I'm going to go ahead and activate a Gem of Brilliance. Oh, that didn't want to show up in my options.
You do see that there is torchlight in the cave. So there is some sort
okay.
of illumination into the cave. It
if
actually
it is lit further in-
it doesn't seem terribly dark in here.
Excellent. And I won't light anything, but if we are going to be in darkness, I will at least have some light around us. So I'll keep that in mind for later. But I'll go ahead and try and join in and do this athletics check. You said with advantage.
Yes. Anyone who's going through, you can make the athletic check with advantage. Gemma, you will have advantage. You can reroll. Nice.
There you go.
Is a 13 going to be good enough?
For this first area, the DC is a 15. As Yulu, you are going to start being pushed by the current back.
I have an ability I can use. Let me find it
Uh-huh.
real quick, and I'll let you know. At least I have 2 of them. Let me check.
Gemma's the fastest swimmer there ever was. Just kidding.
Yes.
Jessica's been pretty good. Yeah.
In my Pact Boon, as a Talisman Warlock, I can add a D4 to a roll, potentially turn.
Oh, hell yeah.
into
You're
a check.
fucking packed the talisman?
Yeah, let me try
Yeah,
that.
2.
Yeah, use that shit.
75% chance.
Yeah, let me
You got
Beautiful.
Nice. Matt's
Perfect.
All right. You feel the presence of your archfey for a moment, kind of laughing and saying, it'd be a shame if you met your end falling off of a cliff like this, and you're going to manage to keep your footing.
Just in my own mind, I say, "Quiet, Thistledown, quiet."
Yeah, you guys you're going to be moving at half speed, so if you want to move like 15 feet in 15-foot increments, you can certainly do so. And I'll stop you guys whenever.
Instead of making the athletics check, can I use my climbing speed to climb across the side of the rocks?
Yep, you certainly can.
Yep.
Ooh, someone has a climbing speed. All right, I will be following. I'll be following Snogbog. You said 15 feet, so I'll be following 2 squares behind you.
I expect nothing less from you, FF.
All right. As you guys enter through the cave, you're going to see that over here, there seems to be some sort of a gate. It's not showing at the moment, but just imagine this is going to be an obstruction. It'll be basically a metal gate, so you can see through it and into the cave itself, where you're going to see there is wooden support beams. There is a bridge that seems to be made out of, improvised wood. And there are torch sconces that are lit at the moment, as this definitely seems like it's occupied.
Hey, Snog, is that gate locked?
It seems so.
I got
Is
some.
the gate?
I happen to
Is
know
the
a
gate
guy.
also? Does the gate go all the way to the ceiling?
Yes. The passageway, it kind of shrinks down here, so it's about 6 or 7 feet tall. This passageway right over here, and then the rest of the cave, like where you guys are, is about 10-foot high ceiling, and then going over into this main area, it becomes much larger, and it's about 20-foot high the ceiling. But right where you are at, it's a choke point, so it is the gate is going all the way up to the ceiling.
Gemma's gonna look at Fastest and be like, "Hey, so you remember that stuff you were trying to use earlier? Now might be a good time."
Yep, and I dig through my thieves' tools made of trash. We have like some like chopsticks for some takeout, and like a fork from like an Italian place. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you can make a thieves tool check for me.
Yeah, I
it'll
don't have
be-
proficiency.
Okay, so
Oh,
it'll be a
no.
dexterity check. It'll
Yeah,
be a
this is a
dexterity
straight
check, but
dex
I'm going to
check.
say since you're using thieves tools, the DC it's not terribly high.
Yeah, I do have proficiency with Tinker's tools, but that's not thieves' tools.
That is not going to be helpful for opening this door now.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Oh,
I'm
so you
gonna
can
cast guidance
still
on myself. Yeah.
You can still use tools that you're not proficient with. You just have like disadvantage or something.
No, you just don't add your proficiency bonus.
You just don't
Exactly.
get to add your proficiency bonus.
Oh.
You're not really
Yeah.
benefiting from using the tool that much besides your base
Yeah,
skills.
you can use any tool, but if you're proficient in them, you get the bonus.
I thought you could.
Well, yeah, well, and also for tools, like if you wanted to make an alchemy, if you wanted to make a potion, but you don't have proficiency in alchemy tools, unless your character had like some sort of background for why they'd be able to do that, most of the time DM would be like, okay, you're probably not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
Thieves Tools is like
Yeah,
Thieves Tools is like bobby pins and stuff. It's like, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to figure out how to shimmy this door open.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't get like smithing tools, roll a nat 20, and then just forge something. Like you have to be
Got it.
at least
Yeah.
trained in how to use.
I'm
tools.
using my like scrounge craft, so it's like I can make thieves tools from basically my environment because they're mundane items that are less than 30 gold. Yeah,
Yeah, we've got a trash panda with us. So
exactly.
Yeah, go ahead and make me that dex check.
Okay, yeah. Check, dex, guidance.
Oh,
I'm burning inspo. I'm burning inspo.
there it is.
The guidance is better than work though. Okay, slightly better.
Even with the 13, you can see that this door is at least well built up enough. Like someone actually had forged these bars out of iron fairly recently. The metal hasn't oxidized yet, even though it is in contact with the water. It holds up. It does not seem to be unlocked yet. Your little fucking chopstick from the Chinese takeout, it snaps as your
Yep.
thieves' tools does not succeed. You don't break them, but you don't succeed in opening this door.
Fuck.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait,
You
wait,
want to try and yeah? Oh, you got this.
Hold on, I have to read this really quick.
The space between the bars
Uh,
is about 2 inches. It's pretty wide, but not wide enough
Yeah.
that a person can fit through.
Yeah, while we're looking at this, DM, does it seem like it is a gate that's going to swing open, or is it going to go up into the ceiling? Like, what's the mechanism that's going to?
It
open
looks like
this?
it's going to swing open. It's going to swing
Swing
out
open.
away from you.
Okay, so it is being held by some kind of like an actual lock as opposed to
Yes, a
like
physical
a
lock.
mechanism. Okay, got it.
How do you check spell? Like, can I show you guys the spell and you tell? Because I don't know.
Yeah, if it's in your
Sometimes I don't understand what it's saying.
yeah, what spell is it?
Rope trick.
Oh, that
That's a tricky spell.
that's not going to help you here.
Oh, okay.
A rope trick is for making a small, like dimensional portal, like a little hidey hole for you, basically. It's not good for getting into places, but it's good for getting you out of places
Exactly.
Got it.
temporarily.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fixed
Something
point.
to remember later.
So like, imagine you have an
will-
ability to just like conjure a little hideout in a fixed spot, and then you can jump into it, and then you can close the door so that you're hidden, and then you can jump out of it afterwards.
Yeah, it lasts for an hour, I think. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
it's really good for stealth.
Oh yeah.
Or for
It's
getting
really
out
good
of
for short
danger.
rest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very useful if you want to take a short rest when you're in a dangerous area. So,
Oh.
you will speak to the rest of the group, kind of, I think, barely audible over the noise of this rushing water around us, and say, I don't have anything that can get rid of this gate itself. I can go through here using magic, but I don't want to leave the rest of you, and I wouldn't want to be attacked if these cultists are going to attack on sight.
Snogbog.
Hmm.
Smash.
I thought you'd never ask. Yes, he's going to. It's time for the second gate attempt, Kazu.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you was gonna like get kind of just hug up into this little bit of rock and just try and get out of the way in case this
Make me an athletics
bits of
check.
metal are gonna start flying. So
Well, yeah, you're gonna see his muscles begin to bulge, and he's gonna try and.
Let's see that
Knock
20 strength get
into-
put to use.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah!
Ah,
yeah! Inspiration.
That's not good. 14 is not going to pass. It's not super high, but it's definitely not lower than a 14.
Yeah, let's go. He's like, yeah, he's like, sturdy door, one more time.
Oh
Oof.
no. All right, well, you do
Also-
burn your inspo, and as you kick the door,
Alright.
you can feel it is, again, pretty decent. It's pretty recently made, and it's well made. So even against the might of Snogbog, this kick slams into the locking mechanism of the door, and it does not budge. The sound of the metal clanking against your boot is going to resonate within the cavern. And also, everyone can take a point of inspiration. I forgot to say this, but, through your guys' RP while you're in the village of Dunmire, you definitely all earned yourselves a point of inspiration.
Ooh, excellent.
This gate must have been crafted by the gods itself.
Let's see if we are out of
Wow,
out of too many options,
First
I might-
thing is just a fucking locked door, and it's too
yeah.
powerful.
So I might want to ask the DM. We do have some spell scrolls that so far have been unspecified
Yeah, you haven't
for
pulled
the
them out yet.
for the kind of
Knock,
actually
knock.
I actually instead of using a spell scroll, I want to use one of my innate spells that I have.
Ooh. Okay.
And this is going to be something, if you will allow for us to do one more strength check, but I'm going to cast heat metal on this lock to heat it up and weaken the metal so that when Snogbog goes to make that athletics check, it will hopefully lower the DC on this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wow. In it casting
Oh
heat
my
metal,
God.
crazy. You are gonna see that this thing begins to glow red hot.
Excellent.
You can make me another. You can make me another athletics check. This time with
Ooh.
advantage, and it is
Yeah.
going to be a lower DC.
Good job.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah,
I
the
was gonna save
DC
that
is
for an
basically
enemy,
like
but-
a 5 at this point because it's melting.
Mhm.
Oh,
There you go.
Ooh.
Excellent.
door
Charges that
goes
door.
off its hinges as it clanks into the water. Noise definitely resonates throughout the chamber, but the doorway is open. You don't even have to worry about it ever being closed on you.
Onwards.
Excellent. And you're going to see, I didn't flavor it earlier, but this is going to be a spell that I had gotten from one of my feats that I had rolled through the randomizer in this. Being an adept of the red robes gives me access to a level 2 spell. So you're going to see Yulu is going to. Her eyes are going to go completely milky, colorless as she's going to start chanting, and she's going to reach her staff out and jab it into the center of this lock and activate the heat of this metal. She's going to leave her staff there, but the wood itself is going to resist the heat of it.
Dope. Yeah, and you guys are able to get that door open. We'll say that if you have a passive perception higher than 16, you are going to definitely hear the sound of footsteps, as it seems... Oops. It seems like someone is approaching. What was that noise?
Oh yeah.
You
Snogbog
guys have
talking
one
about-
round at the moment. What is your plan? Are you going to try to hide, or are you going to just fucking full-on run in, as it seems like people are approaching? You have no idea
know
what
what I
the
wanna
layout
do.
of this place is.
Well,
Mhm.
I would like to stealth and hide under the rocks. Are we
Yeah,
going- we're in
can I
turn
jump
base, we
into
can't
the
move.
water like a raccoon and just like hide?
The water is about waist deep, so yeah, you can definitely try.
Okay. Would you say
Give me-
it's
give
dim
me-
or
give me-
dark light?
Give me 10. Give me 10 more seconds.
Okay.
I'll say it's dim light. There's torchlight, but it is not super
Okay.
strong enough to illuminate into the water, so that'll give you advantage.
Okay.
Gemma, you have a 13.
Oh!
Rumble is fucking diving into the water. He's gone.
Yep.
Is mine high enough? Because if not, I have a
Well, I mean,
flame.
are you guys moving into the cave to hide, or are you going to hide from the outside of the cave?
I'm gonna move in and hide.
I was
Yeah.
going in, but I didn't know if we were in turn base, so I stopped.
We're not in turn base, so you can move right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
move in
but
and
everyone's
hide.
only going to be able to have one action to do something.
Yeah, if we're able to move in, we're moving at half speed. I want to be using my two hands to be grabbing onto this rock to help stabilize me, but then use my prehensile trunk to pull this torch out and dunk it in the water.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
And then I will make a stealth check as long.
All right,
with everyone else.
that'll be your action then to extinguish the torch.
Yeah, and then I'm
Or
going to use.
we'll say it's your object item interaction because you're just pushing.
Yeah.
You're not actually extinguishing it. You're just putting it into the water, which is extinguishing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
All right,
Excellent.
and then I'm going to. I rolled low, use my magical balance, which isn't going to be amazing, but is going to make my check turn into a 10 plus 2 for 12 to stealth. So
12 to stealth. All right.
not amazing, but better than the 7 that I had rolled.
So I see a stealth check from 3 of you, but there's still someone else left. What is Snogbog doing?
I'm thinking what he would do.
You rolled a 1d2 and you didn't call it, so I don't know what the heck that was
Oh.
for.
Sorry, don't worry. That was for if I still. I rolled a
I feel
2.
like
It
he would
was.
definitely just go running in and
But I think he
murder.
is. I was like, I didn't announce it. I was like, wasn't sure. But I think
You
would
can do whatever you
run.
want. You can do whatever
He
you
would.
want.
He would run and gun.
Let's
I
do
really
it.
Then do it. Let's go.
Do it.
You just see he'd be like walking through, stomp, stomp, stomp through the puddle, through the like just like the
Gemma's
water.
a stealthy gloom stalker, so she would definitely stealth. But you do
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, he's gonna be going and going.
You let out a war cry?
Oh. No, you know, he's just standing there waiting.
Menacingly.
Yeah, he's standing there. He is standing there menacingly.
He
All
was
right.
just standing
So
there.
everyone is going to be hidden.
menacing.
Snogbog is going to be standing out in the open, as it's going to seem to be 2 individuals walk up. One of them seems to be a commoner. They're going to be wearing some regular robes and a normal outfit, but you can see their hair's a little disheveled. Seems like they haven't gotten any sleep over the last day. They're going to look a little crazed-eyed at Snogbog and be like, we have an intruder. Someone's come up into the cave mouth. And you're going to see a woman cultist. She has these glowing runic tattoos along her body. She will look towards Snogbog and be like, what are you doing here? State your business.
I am Snogbog, champion of blood, and I ask, no, I command the strongest warrior to face me.
This woman is going to raise an eyebrow before she replies back. She'll say, "Strongest warrior? What are you talking about? Are you here to provide your services to the gathering of the wild storms?"
No. The rumors were true. He looks and ponders a second. Yes, I am here to offer my services.
Make me a persuasion check.
Let's let it go. Let's go.
Oof.
Are you going to take that 8?
What can I do? What am I going to do? You know what? Nah, I don't think. I think. You know what? Sure, this needs to work. It's not going to go well, but you know how hopes is to. You ready for this losing persuasion again?
An 11. You're going to see as this cultist, she kind of shakes her head. Somehow, I don't feel quite right about you. And she is going to lift up her hands to cast a spell on you. Make me a wisdom save.
Oh no. Okay. Yes.
All right, you are immediately paralyzed as what seems to be green eldritch runes appear upon your body and cripple you under the effects of the hold person spell. You immediately fall into the water, and you're going to hear as some other cultists gather. We're going to say basically a round passes by. What is the party doing now? There's going to be Snogbog, who is currently paralyzed. You're going to see other cultists are coming. They don't seem to immediately have hostile intent to kill him, but it seems like they have brought rope, and they're going to bring him up over the bridge, the wooden bridge, and pull him into the lair. So what are the three you guys doing? Actually, we'll roll initiative just to make things easier.
Oh yeah.
But over the table, you know,
Okay.
if you guys want to give each other glances and figure out what you want to do together, that's totally fine. But let's go ahead and roll
I have a really
initiative.
funny idea, but it's probably only going to work if I go first. And I won't be. Dang it.
You got +5 to initiative. Damn.
Nice. Paralysis right off the bat is wild.
All right, so initiative count 21 is going to be the cultist fanatic. You're going to see that they're currently just maintaining concentration on this spell. So they're just going to kind of move back out of sight while commanding the rest of the commoners. And another cultist fanatic here. Take care of this one. Bring him to Orleth. Perhaps we can make use of his body. And then we move on over to Yulu, who is going to be the first to be able to react here as you see Snogbog is face down into the water.